Hello to one and all. The Melbourne Rectangular Stadium is our venue today for an intriguing clash in the AFC Champions League Elite Eastern Zone. It's Melbourne City, the champions of Australia, up against the J-League giants, Sanfrecce Hiroshima. The club Melbourne City coach Aurelio Vidmar used to play for back in the 1990s, while former City striker Togay Arslan makes his return to Australia. Pretty rotten weather in the Victorian capital. Heavy rain for the last half an hour or so, and temperatures of just 12 degrees. Neither club has had much joy in Asia. Melbourne City's two Champions League campaigns have seen them defeated just the once in 12 group matches. They have missed out on the knockout stage on both occasions by the narrowest of margins. As for Sanfrecce, who've got a few supporters at the venue, they thought they were on track for the AFC Champions League 2 semi-finals last season, but an administrative mistake left them floundering, and ultimately they were knocked out in the quarters by the Lion City Sailors from Singapore. Australian A-League clubs haven't beaten Japanese opposition in 5 years since Melbourne Victory, City's great rivals, defeated Kashima Antlers in 2020. And that was also the last year an A-League club last reached the knockout stage, as Victory won through to the round of 16. Sanfrecce have a good record of late against A-League opposition. They've won the last 4 meetings, including a couple of matches against Sydney FC in that Champions League 2 last season. As for City, well, of course, domestically they are out of season at the moment. The A-League doesn't resume until mid-October. They have played just the one competitive game so far. That was in the Australia Cup, where they put out a very inexperienced team and were beaten by Apia Laikar by 2-0 in the round of 32. City gaining their Champions League Elite spots by virtue of finishing in second spot in the regular season last year in the A-League. The Premiers, Auckland FC, of course, ineligible due to them being from New Zealand and therefore a part of the Oceania Confederation and not the Asian Confederation. Sanfrecce Hiroshima having a good season domestically. They're in 6th spot in the J-League. There's their coach, Michael Skibber, the German. They're also in the semi-finals of the 2 cup competitions, the Emperor's Cup and the J-League Cup. They had a 1-1 draw last weekend against Kyoto Sanga, who are very much in contention for the J-League crown. Sanfrecce would love to make an impression upon Asia, as would Melbourne City. They've been pretty dominant domestically in Australia, reached an awful lot of grand finals, although they've only won 2, including at this venue back in May of this year when they defeated their great rivals Melbourne Victory by the only goal of the game, scored by Jonathan Cohen, the Israeli international who is no longer with the club. They've not been hugely active in the transfer market, Melbourne City, during the off-season, just a couple of acquisitions, one of whom starts tonight. I'll give you the team news very shortly. But so important, of course, in this elongated group stage of the AFC Champions League Elite, that you get off to a good start, particularly at home for Melbourne City. Certainly not the biggest crowd at Melbourne Rectangular Stadium. The game kicking off in late afternoon in Melbourne, 5:45 p.m. local time. Quick check of the watch from our referee, who hails from the Islamic Republic of Iran today, Payam Haidari. I'm sure they'd like to stay in the players' tunnel as long as possible, given the inclement weather. The flag bearers leading them out, and here they come, both about to get Their campaigns on the regional stage underway. Melbourne City then against Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Melbourne City with a good record domestically at home last season, lost just 3 matches out of 13. Sanfrecce Hiroshima, not the first time they've played at this venue. In fact, the last time they were here in 2019, they actually won against Melbourne Victory by 3-1. Got the big coats on to protect them against the weather for as long as possible. That one looks about 3 sizes too big. Some of the players of Sanfrecce wearing gloves as well to further protect them from the elements. There is Aziz Bayic, the captain of Melbourne City, a national hero at the moment after his goal sent Australia to the World Cup, the winner against Japan. Here's the City team news. They hand the debut to new off-season signing from Japan, Takeshi Kanamori, who won the Champions League Elite in 2018 with Kashima Antlers. Samuel Supriyan is back after injury. He missed last year's final series and hasn't played since April. Matt Leckie last scored a Champions League goal for Adelaide in 2010. Andrew Naboot not quite yet ready to return. And another new signing, Liam Bonatic, is one of the substitutes. There's our team of match officials, led, as mentioned, by referee Payam Haidari from the Islamic Republic of Iran. The 2 skippers, Aziz Bayic of City and Sho Sasaki of Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Sasaki, who actually scored on his last appearance in this competition against Kashima back in 2019. And Mikhail Skiba makes 5 changes from the 11 that started the clash with Kyoto Sanga at the weekend. In-come new Korean signing Kim Ju-sung, fellow defender Hayato Araki, who recently made his debut for Japan, midfielder Hayao Kawabe, striker Kosuke Kinoshita, and there's a rare start for Brazilian import Marcos Jr., who's featured only 3 times in the J-League this season. Ex-City favourite Tolgay Arslan is on the bench, still recovering from injury. There is Mikhail Skiba, the 60-year-old German coach of Sanfrecce Hiroshima. He is the reigning J-League Coach of the Year after guiding the club into the Champions League Elite for the first time since 2019. And there's Aurelio Vidmar, Melbourne City's coach, who spent 18 months as a Sanfrecce player back in 1998-99, 24 games and 6 goals. And you might also remember he guided Adelaide United to the 2008 AFC Champions League final when they lost to Japanese opposition in the shape of Gamba Osaka. There is Shunki Higashi, who scored against Melbourne Victory in the 2019 version of the competition, and also scored against Sydney in the Champions League 2 last season. Clearly got a bit of a thing about playing and scoring against clubs from Australia. So on a grey, wet, old afternoon in Melbourne, it is Melbourne City who kick us off their third AFC Champions League Elite campaign. And they've been hugely competitive in their first two seasons in the competition, but haven't yet managed to make it through to the knockout phase. Sanfrecce Hiroshima, rather more experienced campaigners in this competition. They have reached the round of 16 before. And we'll be hoping to go deep into the competition once again. Goalkeeper Keisuke Osako, who was hugely impressive in Japan's latest friendly against the United States of America. Even though Samurai Blue actually lost that international by 2-0. He made a string of saves and was voted Japan's man of the match. Very much an ever-present between the posts for the J-League club. Here's a first touch in Melbourne City colours for Takeshi Kanamori, new arrival from the J-League. Little slip by Marcos Jr. on the greasy top. Nathaniel Atkinson almost having his pocket picked. And is then penalised for handball as he lost his balance up against Shunki Higashi. Here's Sho Sasaki into midfield for Satoshi Tanaka. Across the back line for the big career defender, Kim Ju-sung. The way that Sanfrecce Hiroshima like to play, build through the lines up towards Marcos Jr., who was clipped from behind. Another whistle going against Nathaniel Atkinson. He's actually making his debut in the AFC Champions League. Did play in the UEFA Conference League for his former club Hearts, and actually scored a goal against Istanbul Basaksehir. Had a good season last year with Melbourne City. Voted into the PFA Best 11, the Players' Union, for his part in Melbourne City's grand final success. Andreas Kuhn, the Austrian, going for the ball, but it's Kanamori who came away with it, but only briefly. Turned back by Marcos Jr. Sasaki. That's where the move breaks down. Samuel Supriyan stepping in. City glad to have him back. Truin closed down quickly in midfield. Another foul, and you would fancy that Payam Haidari's patience won't last too long if Melbourne City continue to impede their opponents. Here's Hayato Araki. Kim Ju-sung. Neat and tidy passing from the visitors, as it was until that point. Lecky slides it out towards Kanamori. Lecky drawing the contact from Tanaka. Referee just going to check on the welfare. Of Kinoshita here, he was the victim of Gavan Ferreira, who fell on top of him. Rania Vidmar knows not just Japanese football well, but Asian football in general very well. Stints in Thailand and Singapore as a head coach. Let's see if City can make some headway from this set piece. Kanamori runs over it. Edge to the top of the box. It's perhaps a nice training ground move. Kanamori trying to fire it through a crowd of players before Sasaki gets it clear. Another slip this time by Kim Joo-sung. Heavy rain perhaps taking its toll on the playing surface, and Kanamori then off balance. And the whistle will bring Kosuke Kinoshita back. City too like to play out from the back. Patrick Beach, their young goalkeeper, particularly adept with the ball at his feet. He's making his AFC Champions League Elite debut as well. Some work to do in a minute. Just a pass back from Germán Ferreira. Oh, it's a real stretch from Tanaka. Atkinson. It's the return of Kai Truin, who's been involved with the Australian national team there. There's a couple of international windows, but yet to make his debut. Sat on the bench 4 times on the back of an excellent campaign last time out. Equally comfortable playing either at the heart of defence or in midfield, where he is today. There's another look at that free kick from Melbourne City some moments ago, which ended with that shot from Kanamori, easily smothered by the Sanfrecce defence. Sasaki. There's a little coming together between Kinoshita and Nathaniel Atkinson, which has left the Melbourne City player prone on the turf. Got his opponent into a bit of a headlock. That's a flailing arm doing some damage. And by the looks of it, Nathaniel Atkinson certainly felt that one. Players, of course, do use their arms for balance and leverage, but you've got to be careful. The visitors enjoying the better of the possession in the early stages. No real opportunities created as yet for either side. Lecky. Oh, it's lovely play from Lecky. Just got away from Andreas Kuhn. Sent long towards Kinoshita, who will link up here with Shunki Higashi. He's looking for the return ball, but Kinoshita nowhere near it. Lecky, 78 caps for Australia, and here's perhaps a few of the reasons why he's won so many. Scored, of course, famously for the Socceroos at the World Cup in 2022, the winner against Denmark, which sent the nation through to the round of 16, where they were only narrowly edged out by the eventual winners, Argentina. He's had his injury concerns, though, over the last 12-18 months. Now seemingly back to full fitness. Beach looking for young striker Max Caputo. who's taken over the number 9 role, if not the jersey, from Jamie McLaren, who scored so many goals in City Blue before departing to play in India. Kim Ju-sung. Slip by Yotaro Nakajima brings that attacking move to a close for Sanfrecce. There is Nakajima. His father Koji played 4 years for Sanfrecce Hiroshima between 2009 and 2013. Played in the same position as his son as well. Japanese side's always well supported wherever they go. Little block of purple making quite the noise in the far corner. Flicked on by Lecky. Tidied up by Higashi. Too high for Kinoshita. Sent long by Nathaniel Atkinson. Kim Ju-sung difficult to beat in the air. Control by Bajic. Pitch back by Hayao Kawabe. The cross will find its way through for Higashi. Out off Atkinson for a throw. Sasaki looking to float it out towards Higashi. Melbourne City feeling there was perhaps a high foot there on Kanamori. They come away with the ball, and it is Takeshi Kanamori against his compatriots. Didn't quite put enough on that through ball for Caputo. He was suggesting that he might have been impeded. Through was Kim Ju-sung. Melbourne City corner though. Supriyan and Ferreira have made their way forward for Aziz Bajic's delivery. First corner of the contest, which arrives in the 14th minute. A whole cluster of players waiting to make their move at the back post. Bajic goes towards the near. Which is perhaps a little disappointing from Melbourne City's perspective. Atkinson looking for options. Matt Lecky provides one. Drives for the byline, but and a complete miscue as he attempted the cross. A good turn in the first instance, and then a swing and a miss. Well, it's certainly drier than it was an hour ago in Melbourne. It's still pretty grey overhead. Maybe just a little peek through of late afternoon sunshine. By Marcos Jr. and out wide he goes for Shunki Higashi. To get around Atkinson, which he's done. It's not a bad delivery either. First phase of which was dealt with by Ferreira. Andreas Kuhn showing good balance and good strength to find Kavian Rahmani. Nice improvisation by the youngster. Kuhn with the cross, but it's behind Caputo. And swept clear by Higashi. Move that had some promise for Melbourne City. Kanamori had drifted inside, for which he apologises to Nathaniel Atkinson. Doing for Shunki Higashi. Recently passed 250 appearances in all competitions for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. You just got a glimpse there of Kavian Rahmani. One of many academy products Melbourne City have developed in recent years. The model for A-League clubs these days. Try and make some money in the transfer market as well. Lucky, of course, at the other end of his career. Bajic barged out of the way. And Nakajima, free kick for the home side. A bit of room here for Takeshi Kanamori. This coming together on the edge of the penalty area. Again involving Matt Leckie, who is penalised for his part in it. It's a pretty robust challenge that from Max Caputo, but a clean win of the ball. This move had promise, but it's a tangle of legs with Leckie the prime offender. This is Satoshi Tanaka. Back for Kim Ju-sung. Araki. Again, Sanfrecce Hiroshima still pretty dominant in terms of possession. But, Patrick Beach not yet tested between the posts for City. Sasaki playing the ball wide. Again, Kinoshita not able to get on the end of that ball forward. Higashi. Kim Ju-sung. It's a good stretch by Nakano. Far right-hand side. Did himself a little bit of damage in the process. Space wide right again for Nakano. Kim Joo-sung heads over in that direction. This is Araki. He was recently recalled by the Japanese national team for the first time in 3 years. Credit to him, after the defeat by the United States, he said in the press conference it was a reality check, the game, as to where he was at. Which is pretty honest. Oh, that's a painful one for Nathaniel Atkinson. Got the ball straight in the face. He's been in the wars, hasn't he, Atkinson? What he could do to avoid that ball straight at him. Off the boot of Higashi. There's a couple of blows to the jaw he suffered in the opening 20 minutes or so. One from the flailing arm of Kosuke Kinoshita. And one from the ball. Well, the message has gone to the City bench that Nathaniel Atkinson, I think, will be okay. They're just making doubly sure. There is the Melbourne City bench. Reserve keeper Dakota Oxenham with the ponytail. The referee inviting the medical staff to take their leave. Plenty of options available on the bench for Aurelio Vidmar should Atkinson not be able to continue, but I'm pretty sure he'll be okay. Just for the moment, Melbourne City are down to 10, so Takeshi Kanamori just dropping into that right fullback role for the moment. This is Araki. Kim Joo-sung. Straight at Lecky. Good to go once he gets the all clear from the officials, and Melbourne City back to their full complement. It's a good touch by Nakajima. Nakano's cross steered away by Kai Truitt. Bajic looking for Rahmani, and Bajic picking up the scraps. Kuhn trying to do likewise. The contest so far devoid of any real goalmouth action. Higashi. Marcos Jr. moving the ball on quickly. Kinoshita getting involved. Sanfrecce trying to get the passing game going. Create those little triangles. Araki. Oh, a little slip at the crucial moment by Higashi. Atkinson had no options really. Go. Late afternoon sunshine, just about. like he's come off the worst. A little coming together. His opponent, Satoshi Tanaka. Maybe got trodden on there, Lecky. Araki. Kinoshita trying to hold it up and play in a teammate. Turned back by Tanaka. Sasaki. City have it back through Lecky. Throwing back for Bajic. To work hard to get through that midfield area, but now Matt Lecky drives forward and looks for the space on the right for Takeshi Kanamori. Chance perhaps here for Melbourne City, but it's well blocked by the Sanfrecce defence. They'll go again through Kuhn. Atkinson, tempting cross. And in the end, nodded away by Hayao Kawabe. Move of more attacking promise from the home team. Caputo. Atkinson. Didn't have enough of a trick to get around Higashi. Off the head of Ferreira. City will go again. As is Bajic. Out for Rahmani. Bajic again. Rahmani looking for the give and go with Kuhn. A bit more enterprising from Melbourne City. Samuel Cyprian thought that should have been a Melbourne City throw. I have to say, I think I agreed with him. So we'll look and see if Cyprian was right. He was, you know. None of which mattered. Only the views of the officials count. Kuhn run out of it. And Higashi instead going forward for the J-League outfit. Squared up for Kawabe. Wide right is Nakano. Over the head of Kinoshita. Oh, what a save to deny Marcos Jr. by Patrick Beach. The first big chance of the game. And it's a really good reflex stop by Beach to deny the Brazilian, who just ghosted in at the back post. Great contact, and it's just a reaction stop. That's brilliant from the young keeper. Well, the first shot in anger for either team. And it could so easily have been 1-0 for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. But for the AFC Champions League Elite debutants. Sanfrecce's first corner. Delivered by Higashi towards the near post. Out again by Truitt. Reset through Kawabe. Away is the cry from the Melbourne City defence. Well, it's one of the reasons why the national team coach of Australia, Tony Popovic, actually called Patrick Beach up as a trade-on player for the national team camp back in June. He is a young keeper of immense promise, and he showed a glimpse as to why in that particular moment. City determined to play out from the back, and they've turned the ball over. Sasaki might have been fouled. This is Kinoshita. Ferreira does his job. Kinoshita feels he should have had a corner. Rare start tonight for Kosuke Kinoshita. At the age of 30, it's his debut in Asian competition, but he's not got the verdict here. In fact, all of Kinoshita's last 4 goals have come off the bench, including 2 in his last 3. But he is a starter in Melbourne this evening. Valère Germain, of course, the player who once graced the A-League with MacArthur, not available, still serving the suspension, for which the oversight cost Sanfrecce Hiroshima probably a spot in the semi-finals of the Champions League 2 last season. It'll be also interesting to see and more pertinently hear the reception, if he comes on, that the City fans give Tolgay Arslan, who is on the bench for Sanfrecce Hiroshima this evening. Spent a very good season, of course, with Melbourne City in 23-24, won their Player of the Year award. Currently making his way back into the squads after suffering a knee injury, which has kept him on the sidelines for the best part of 6 months. Maybe we'll get to see him in the second half. Meantime, Sanfrecce making inroads here. Kinoshita again up against Ferreira. Key individual battle, that one. Kim Ju-sung, Higashi, crowded out by 2 Melbourne City players. Atkinson's gone down. Referee plays the advantage. It's Rahmani on the left. Have they delayed too long, Melbourne City? Sanfrecce now back in numbers defensively. Bajic. It's a bit too strong, that ball for Kuhn, and referee Haidari is going to go back to that particular incident. It saw Nathaniel Atkinson fouled and show the yellow card to Shunki Higashi. That's why. Little tread on the ankle of Nathaniel Atkinson. First caution of the night. Here's Rahmani, and there is no offside flag. Bajic trying to drive through. Back through Kai Truin. Too close to Osako. He's playing just his 4th AFC Champions League Elite match this evening. Keisuke Osako, previous 3 for the club in 2019, produced 3 clean sheets. Strength from Leckie, who's again gone down. Not the first time that's happened to him in this game either. He's still down. Veteran Australian international. Whack to the face. And there There's a bit of claret there, I fancy, as well, which is going to need some attention. It's a nasty one. Scott Jamieson, Radio Vidmar's assistant and former title-winning captain with City in 2021, just asking the question about these trailing arms to the fourth official. The latest of which from Satoshi Tanaka has really done for Matt Leckie. He's literally spitting blood there, Matt Leckie. Medical team making sure that all that blood is cleaned off every part of the body. Part of the modern day protocols, of course. Just checking that all the teeth are still intact as well. He's pretty much been there, done it, got the t-shirt in terms of football, Matt Leckie, including all the bumps and bruises. 10 years in Germany with the likes of Borussia Mönchengladbach, Ingolstadt, Hertha Berlin. World Cups, Grand Finals. But his last Champions League Elite goals all the way back in 2010 for Adelaide United, right at the outset of his career. Patched up and powdered, he's back with us. So far, really, we've just had that one big goalmouth opportunity for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Marcos Junior's volley expertly saved by Patrick Beach. Tanaka had to get rid in a hurry, and in doing so has presented possession back to the home side. This is Rahmani down the line for Kuhn, but across very quickly came Kawabe. Atkinson for Kanamori. Given away by Nathaniel Atkinson. Kinoshita heading towards the right-hand area where there wasn't much support. Nakano now showing. Back through Sasaki. Kim Ju-sung. Araki. And off the head of Nakano, but comfortable for Patrick Beach. Melbourne City actually yet to record a victory at this venue in the Champions League Elite. To be fair, they've only played 3 times at their regular home stadium. 2022 campaign was all played out of a hub in Thailand. Part of the COVID hangover. Only previous games against Japanese opposition in this tournament. Back in 23-24, 2 draws with Venfred Kofu. Now they've got an overlap here on the left. Sanfrecce, Marcos Junior. Higashi sent wider than he wanted. And behind it goes for a goal kick. whole lot for the two sets of supporters to get excited about in terms of opportunities. Kinoshita's got a bit of a problem here. And immediately, substitute is called for, so a player who normally comes off the bench, about to be replaced himself, it would appear. Tsuki Kato immediately stripped and ready for action, and a stretcher call for. This is not looking good. He's being placed very carefully on that stretcher. I must confess, not 100% certain how all this eventuated. What is clear is that Kosuke Kinoshita is going to play no further part in this game. They've got to wait before the other end of those stretcher bearers are ready. Got the neck blocks in place, which would suggest that's the sort of area that is the problem. So an unhappy end for Kosuke Kinoshita. A rare start for him. Further assessed in the dressing rooms. Here is the new man, Tsuki Kato, 28 years of age. Played in the Champions League Elite before. Scored a couple of goals in it, both for Cerezo Osaka back in 2021. He actually has a twin brother, Takafuki, who was with Sanfrecce Hiroshima as a junior as well. So he will play up top with Marcos Junior just off him. Half-time approaching, although there will be some stoppage time, you'd imagine, given that injury suffered by Kinoshita. And one or two others besides, of course. Matt Leckie having treatment for a bloodied mouth. Daniel Atkinson for a couple of facial injuries as well. Here's a substitute, but he's offside, Kato. Scored in both legs of the J-League Cup quarter-final that was played recently between Sanfrecce and Shonan Belmar. Sanfrecce successful over two legs and through to the last four. Competition they last won in 2022, which was their last trophy. As mentioned, also in the semis of the Emperor's Cup, which they last won, would you believe, in 1969. Caputo and Kuhn rather getting in each other's way. And we're into the first of 4 minutes of added time at the end of the opening 45. Here is Nakano. Trying to steer it in behind for the substitute Kato. It wasn't a bad idea. Ferreira just about doing enough. Sent long towards Kato, but Ferreira again strong in the challenge. Forward by Suprian. Now a chance for Marcos Junior. Looking for his teammate on the far side of the penalty area, forcing that intervention from Bajic. First half stoppage time, Sanfrecce Hiroshima have a corner. It's Marcos Junior, 32 years of age now, in rather frozen out of the Sanfrecce lineup in the J-League this season. As mentioned, just 3 appearances all campaign. He's had the best chance of the game so far. The in-swinger once again by Higashi, but before that, referee to just take a rain check. Make sure that arms are kept down. Sasaki looking to make his move at the back post. Darts towards the near, and Beach palms it behind for a corner kick on the other side. See if this one works out any better for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Sasaki believed that it wasn't he who got the final touch, and those protests have found a receptive audience. Change of heart from the referee. Nakajima gets another chance. Those two, Nakano and Bajic. Referee keeping a watchful eye on both. Here's Nakajima's delivery. And Suprian puts it behind for another corner. Gets words of encouragement from his goalkeeper. 14 years his junior. Higashi getting the words of warning now, told not to back into Bajic. Take 3 from Nakajima. Up but not away from Suprian. Further clear off the head of Kanamori. The referee thought about blowing for half-time then, and had a change of heart. He does signal an end to a first half that, in brutal honesty, hasn't hit any great heights. The best chance, virtually the only chance, went to Marcos Junior. A really crisp volley that was excellently saved by Patrick Beach. Other than that, they basically cancelled each other out. It's been physical at times. Matt Leckie and Nathaniel Atkinson have suffered injuries. And for Sanfrecce, Kosuke Kinoshita forced off on a stretch, replaced by Mutsuki Kato. Let's hope for better in the second 45. All square at the break in Melbourne. Melbourne City 0, Sanfrecce Hiroshima 0.
And while we're here for the AFC Champions League Elite tonight in the A-League season, it's of course just around In an unexplored territory, I saw things you wouldn't believe. I was the first.
And as we get set for kickoff. Getting set for the start of the second half game in Melbourne. City fans, please make some noise and welcome back for the start of the second half. Your Melbourne City.
Welcome back to the Melbourne Rectangular Stadium for the second half, which is just moments away. Not the most fluent first 45 minutes of football. Melbourne City, of course, still out of season domestically, but Really the onus on them as the home side to create more chances in the second half, especially with a trip to Vissel Kobe next up in this competition. A-League clubs have traditionally struggled against J-League opposition, just 14 wins in 75 meetings, and so far at least precious few signs that they are about to add to that meagre tally. Well, let's see what happens in the second half. Change made by Sanfrecce Hiroshima at the break. I think it's Naoto Arai who has been sent on for second 45. I'll get that confirmed for you in just a moment. Had to make a change in the first half, of course, with that injury to Kosuke Kinoshita in an attacking sense, so Mutsuki Kato leading the attack as we prepare to get back underway. Change two for Melbourne City. There is Naoto Arai making his AFC Champions League Elite debut tonight, although he played Australia against Sydney FC in the ACL 2 last season. Jarakovic has also been introduced for Melbourne City at the break. So a change of pace by the two coaches. Let's see if they have an impact. Sanfrecce Hiroshima, and the best, virtually the only chance of the game so far. That produced a fine save from Patrick Beach between the sticks for Melbourne City. Not too much at the other end. Goal scorers were a little bit of a problem for Melbourne City, despite them winning the championship in Australia last season. Top goal scorer Jonathan Cohen, who's now departed the club, only managed a total of 6 throughout the campaign. The goals pretty evenly spread. Marco Tilio was a contributor in that regard with 5 goals. He's now plying his trade in Austria. One of a few close season departures from the club. Here's one of the arrivals, Kanamori, crossing in towards Caputo. One back for City, and the shot off balance from Andreas Kuhn. Way over the crossbar. But a shot at least for the home side. Signal perhaps of their greater intent at the start of the second half. Tidy work by Shuto Nakano. Has a younger brother, Rikiru, who's also a professional footballer with Thespa Gunma in J4. Wabe, and then Nakano completely missing his kick. disappointment on the face of his coach, Mikael Skibbe. This is complete an air swing as lucky in the first half at that particular end of the ground. Off the head of Truan. And Sasaki. Caputo giving chase. Tidied up by Araki. Substitute Arai really having to stretch to keep that one in play. Sarko forced into going long. Atkinson bundled over by Marcos Jr. And none too friendly in the aftermath. Marcos Jr. won the J-League Golden Boot in 2019 during his days with Yokohama F. Marinos. Won the J-League title under Ange Postecoglou. Vidmar, no doubt, wanting just a little bit more from his team. City just suffering from a little bit of a lack of creativity in the final third. Now, here's a chance. Patrick Beach brings down his opponent. It's a penalty. And what about what happens to the goalkeeper? Marcos Jr. felled as he darted into the box. VAR, of course, will check it. No question of Marcos Jr. being offside. He was clearly onside. What about the contact on the Brazilian? He's just flicked the boot, hasn't he? And the Brazilian has made the most of it, of course, but I'm not sure it's going to be overturned, but you never know. Penalty confirmed. No sanction for the goalkeeper. Deemed to be a football challenge, as they call it. Here's a big chance for Marcos Jr., who earned the penalty and will take it. His only goal in this competition for Sanfrecce was a penalty against Huang Ang Jalai in 2022. Big moment this in the context of this game. And Marcos Jr. sends Beach the wrong way and gives Sanfrecce Hiroshima the lead. The perfect penalty. And the young goalkeeper who denied the Brazilian so spectacularly in the first half could do nothing about that effort from the penalty spot. Here's how it was won by Marcos Jr. Beach coming flying out. And then completely bamboozled by the spot kick. 1-0 for Sanfrecce. Started life with Brazilian giants Fluminense before transferring to Japan. As mentioned, he has been far from a regular in the first 11 in the J-League this season. He's made a big impact here. And already a Vidmar's team have it all to do. A little slip by Kanamori. That this is only Melbourne City's second competitive game of the new season. Their first against Apia Leichhardt in the Australia Cup. Featured a team of youngsters, really. Although Kabian Rahmani, who is starting tonight, did also start in that particular match. Matt Leckie, the man substituted at half-time for Emin Durakovic. The surname is familiar to fans across Asia. That's because he's the son of Mehmet Durakovic, coach who won titles in Malaysia. This particular contest was Brazil against Argentina. Marcos Jr. against Germán Ferreira. No love lost between those two countries. Here's the decisive moment so far. Beautifully dispatched from the spot. High fives all round on the bench. He's not smiling at the moment after that contact from Ferreira. Mikhail Skiba. And he looks mildly concerned for the welfare of his striker. Plenty of options on the bench, of course, including Tolgay Arslan. I wonder if we might see him against his former club. Much a firm favourite with the Sanfrecce Hiroshima supporter base. Particularly so tonight, given he's handed his team the lead. And he's earned them another free kick here, which Nakano delivers. Ferreira sees partly away. Cyprian helps it further clear. The head of Sasaki, and then Nakano, and then cushioned back to beach by Cyprian. And Marcos Jr. is back with us. Bajic. Kuhn couldn't get goal side of Kawabe. Patrick Beach, touch of good fortune there, played it straight into Mitsuki Kato. Cyprian forward to Andreas Kuhn. The Austrian who's struggled to have much of an impact so far tonight. He was pretty good in his debut season for Melbourne City, the first Austrian to win the A-League Grand Final in the Championship. Well, given away very casually by Melbourne City, but the flag has gone up to deny Sanfrecce a second goal offside. Mitsuki Kato. And the home side breathe a big sigh of relief. Offside by quite some distance. Tidy finish, though. Germán Ferreira, in particular, grateful to hear the referee's whistle. Still nothing really as yet to trouble Keisuke Osako in the Sanfrecce Hiroshima goal. Melbourne City have been pretty blunt so far. Along with that Australia Cup tie that I mentioned that they lost to Apia Leichhardt, they've played just the one pre-season friendly, a 1-1 draw with Adelaide United on the 2nd of September. Andreas Kuhn, the goal scorer that particular day. Their exciting young attacking talents. Medin Mehmeti not on the bench this evening. He would be perhaps a logical replacement at some point. They do have Ben Mazzeo, who can buzz around that final third. Lawrence Wong, a good attacking midfielder. Otherwise, really, it's a collection of youngsters for Aurelio Vidmar. Mazzeo or Wonga, particularly veterans either, it must be said. Mazzeo just 20. Lawrence Wong only 17. They do at least have first-team experience. Now Osako's come out a long way. And in the end, it was a good choice. As Sasaki clears upfield. Settled down by Kawabe, midfield for Sanfrecce. Looking for Arai. The pass goes. Arai. Sure, he knew an awful lot about this. He turned his head away from the ball, but worked out okay for Osako. Foul on Kanamori by Kim Ju-sung, who then throws the ball away and gets a yellow card for doing so. Was really just inviting the referee to make that decision, and he duly obliged. Melbourne City in need of a little bit of inspiration to go with their perspiration. City go to Vissel Kobe on the 1st of October. That's a full 2 weeks before their domestic season starts, away to the Western Sydney Wanderers. And they've got a home game against Buriram in this competition. Trip to Japan to face Machida Zelvia. Johor at home, FC Seoul away, Ulsan away, and then Gangwon at home to finish. Another yellow card. That's 2 out of Sanfrecce Hiroshima's central back 3 now in the book, as Hayato Araki joins Kim Ju-sung for that challenge on Max Caputo. Treading on the ankle of the Melbourne City striker. Rahmani. Bajic. Protected the ball well, the veteran fullback. He was Japan's nemesis in that World Cup qualifier back in June. He's just overhit that slightly. And the struggles continue for Aurelio Vidmar's team. And you do perhaps wonder, looking at this team, in the absence of Cohen and Tilio, as to where the goals are going to come from for Melbourne City. Andrew Naboot, of course, will be an option at some point. He missed virtually the entire season last time around with a serious injury. Not quite yet ready to return to the fray. Sanfrecce looking pretty comfortable at the moment. The cross towards Nakano at the back post. And Beach pounces on the ball after the effort from Mutsuki Kato had some of the sting taken out of it. Marcos Jr. again sniffing for any sort of opportunity. Reveling in this rare start for him. Change imminent for Sanfrecce. Going to see the introduction very shortly of Tsukasa Shiotani, veteran central defender, and also the winger Naoki Maeda. This might be the man he replaces Shito Nakano. His final touch that will bring about those changes. Marcos Jr. is one of those to make way. At the moment, he is the match winner from the penalty spot. And Kim Joo-sung, who of course picked up that booking, so Mikhail Skiba taking no chances. It's a like-for-like replacement. Tsukasa Shiotani, now 36 years of age. There is Maeda, who is 30. He's played in this competition before. One of his previous matches in 2021 for Nagoya Grampus. Scored one goal in that run against the Pohang Steelers. Signed on for the club earlier this year from Urawa Red Diamonds. There is Shiotani, 36 years of age. His 43rd appearance in this competition. 7 times capped for Japan. And a player who once scored against Real Madrid at the FIFA Club World Cup back in 2018. He's had a very successful and very eclectic career, which included a stint in the Middle East with Al Ain. Beach gonna have to hurry. Very nearly had his pants pulled down there. Well, we've seen the very best of him in the first half with that save from Marcos Jr., but still a young goalkeeper learning his trade, and he was closed down quick smart there by Mutsuki Kato. Second goal for Sanfrecce would surely seal the deal for Mikhail Skiba's team. Good energy from Sanfrecce as they look to try and close down their opponents. And tidied up by Shiotani initially. This is Tanaka. Works nicely for Nakajima. Crossfield it goes for Shuto Nakano. Back through Shiotani. Maeda. Ball then fended away by the Melbourne City defence. Naoki Maeda, chance to run at Aziz Bayic, looking to bend it into that far corner. Didn't quite get the connection he wanted. A good little run here, full of pace and purpose. Sanfrecce have a trip to Kashiwa Reysol next weekend. In terms of the AFC Champions League Elite, they have a home game next against Shanghai Ports, managed by an Australian, of course, in Kevin Muscat. As Maeda rolls it back, and the shot on target from Hayo Kawabe. Shun to everybody at Sanfrecce. And the rest of their fixtures, Sanfrecce in the Champions League Elite, Ulsan away, Gangwon at home, Chengdu Rongcheng away from home, Shanghai Shenhua at home, Johor at home, and then FC Seoul away, as we catch a glimpse of Tolgay Arslan warming up on the sidelines. Maybe a chance for him to get some more minutes in his legs after that long injury layoff. Sasaki. Fair challenge from Ferreira. Towards Kuhn. Caputo trying to use that body strength to link up with Kanamori. Atkinson gliding into the box. And finally a move of a little more purpose for Melbourne City. It doesn't end with a shot on target. With a bit more enterprise, and credit to Max Caputo, who used his strength to find Kanamori. And then Atkinson driving through, but way off kilter with the effort on goal. Not a regular goal scorer by any means, just 5 in 103 A-League matches. And City yet to register a shot on target. They found it really tough going, as A-League clubs often do against J-League opposition. Nakano. This is Arai. Naoki Maeda. Shiotani. Maeda predominantly left-footed, but operating on the right. City looking to break clear of the iron grip that Sanfrecce have them in at the moment, but there's no No further progress to be made for Aziz Bayic. Tanaka. Kawabe. Approaching the final quarter of an hour, and the captain shows Sasaki, I should say, getting forward to join in with that attack, but it was probably a defender's touch. Ben Mazzeo and Harrison Shillington, along with Zane Schreiber, are going to be the three changes for Melbourne City. Next break in play. As Durakovic loses the ball in midfield. Tanaka, intelligent ball to pick out Nakano, and Maeda just unable to keep the ball in play with that less preferred right boot. Here are the changes for Melbourne City. Nathaniel Atkinson, one of those to be replaced. Andreas Kuhn, another. Tough night for Atkinson. Took a couple of whacks to the head in the first half as well. And Kavian Rahmani, the other player to be withdrawn. As for the incoming trio, well, Harrison Shillington is a defender. He will pop into that right fullback position. Zane Schreiber, a midfielder. And they'll be looking perhaps more towards the third of those changes. Ben Mazzeo, who's a striker, to add a little bit more attacking pep. It's his first appearance for the senior team since February. He's had injury issues as well. Made only 6 starts in the A-League last season. A couple of goals against Western United and Brisbane, both at this venue. Well, he does zip around, so that's the sort of thing that Melbourne City have been lacking so far tonight. Bit of extra spark. Kanamori has come to play out on the left-hand side. Bayic driven back. And driven off the ball, ultimately, by Nakano. A good example of the utter frustration for Aurelio Vidmar's team. Just no way through. It's a good retrieval and a good first involvement for Ben Mazzeo. Still just 20 years of age. He grew up as a Melbourne City supporter. Actually got a goal on his starting debut against the Newcastle Jets in the domestic league. Idolised Andrew Naboots. Now he's a teammate of his. Here's Caputo trying to slip it through for him. Truan lifts it out towards Bayic. Kanamori. Schreiber. Truan back through Supriyan. Joining in with the attack and firing it across the face of goal. That's was a decent delivery from Samuel Supriyan. Neither Caputo or Mazzeo read it. He's asking for the corner as well, which he certainly should get. In fact, they have, Melbourne City, eventually. Chance to get the likes of Ferreira and Cyprian forward. Delivery towards the near post. Met by Nakajima. Not the best from Aziz Bayic. Little shake of the head. Nakano. Kato. Nakano still full of energy. Oh, it's a brilliant goal. Scored by Mutsuki Kato. He's injured himself in the process. In fact, it's Nakajima, my apologies, but it was a perfect header from a quite brilliant delivery. And he'll need treatment, but what a ball in by Nakano. And a fine header, surely to put the game beyond the reach of Melbourne City. A clash of heads as well. That will require some attention. It was brave, but the header was accurate. And Beach was beaten. We're going to have, no doubt, quite a lengthy delay here, but there's a smile on the face despite that injury of Mikhail Skibber. Because his team are surely there for the 3 points. Even if the goal scorer has been quite literally flattened in the process. Scored 3 goals in the ACL2 last season. Yotaro Nakajima, a couple against Kaya, and 1 against the Lion City Sailors, but this is his first in the senior competition in Asia. Nothing Zane Schreiber or Melbourne City could do about it. And on balance, they have posed the greater threat of the two. Tolgay Arslan with a big smile because he's going to enter a very familiar arena to him, with his team 2 goals to the good, and the goal scorer departs after basically having secured the game for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. A few boos from the Melbourne City supporters, a few claps as well, and a very good season for Melbourne City, and Sanfrecce Hiroshima are glad to see him back as well in competitive action after a long time out. Not started a game since February this year. Has come off the bench in the last 2 cup games. As for Melbourne City, unfortunately, they just have not carried nearly enough attacking threat. Truin for Kanamori. It's offside. The Japanese winger is the goal scorer, at least one of them. Way down the tunnel to get the checks done. into a very successful trip for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Of course, it is always difficult for A-League clubs at this stage of the competition, given that the domestic campaign doesn't start until so late in the year. Melbourne City would have hoped to have posed more of an attacking threat than they've managed to muster here this evening. Five minutes to go, plus stoppages. It's going to take a Herculean effort from here on in to turn things around for the home side. They have not looked very likely all evening. Here's Harrison Shillington, a player who made his senior debut in that Australia Cup defeat against Apia Leichhardt. Starting debut, I should say. Made his actual debut in the same competition back in 2023 against the Metro Stars. Kato was an early substitute for Sanfrecce. Here's Lawrence Wong, who's going to replace Max Caputo for what remains of this tie. Still just 17 years old. Going right through the academy system with Melbourne City. And became City's youngest ever goal scorer in the A-League last season against Perth Glory. Placed out purposefully wide by Shillington. Zaya, Truin. They find at least a shot on target. Jurakovic sees his effort blocked. Still they wait for that first shot on target of the evening. Supriyan, square for Bajic. Kanamori. Shriver, too often they've had to turn back. Sanfrecce very well disciplined, very well organised. Breaks here for Truin, only momentarily. Shiotani placing it purposefully wide. Here's Arslan. Lawrence Wong gets a throw. Last 90 seconds of the regulation 90. There'll be a few minutes added on, particularly for that injury to Sanfrecce's second goal scorer, Lataro Nakajima. Bajic. Shriver didn't get enough purchase on that little lift over the top of the defender. Gets another go here. Kanamori just checked his run. pretty much sums up Melbourne City's evening. Nothing much has gone right in the final third. Something that Aurelien Vidmar knows he will need to rectify, not just for this competition, but also for the A-League when it resumes in October. But that record of A-League clubs against their J-League counterparts is going to look even worse in a few minutes' time. It's going to read: played 76, won 16, drawn 14, lost 46. Unless we're going to see something really spectacular in the last 5 minutes. Twong quickly recovering his bearings and the ball. Kanamori. Nice and neat and tidy on the ball on debut, Takeshi Kanamori, but hasn't been able to really hurt the Sanfrecce defence. You know him well, of course. He's going to take this corner. City attempt to give themselves a lifeline late on. Here's Samuel Supriya. Another corner for Melbourne City. Very genial character, Samuel Supriya. He's got a big smile on his face. Here's Baich's delivery. It's a good take. Osako, who's barely been tested this evening. Sanfrecce almost there. They can go away and prepare for their domestic league game against Kashiwa Reysol at the weekend. Safe in the knowledge that their Asian Champions League campaign has got off to a winning start. Melbourne City have got to wait until the 1st of October and that trip to Vissel Kobe, which, if anything, might be more difficult even than this. Sanfrecce Hiroshima wanted the ball put out of play. So the stricken striker can receive some attention. Melbourne City rather reluctantly obliging. Ouch, that's a painful one. Naoki Maeda having his ankle trodden on by Samuel Supriya. Even a goal now for Melbourne City would probably be nothing more than consolation. As mentioned at the start, they've only ever previously lost one game in this competition out of 12 previous group matches. That was against Buriram United. They're on the cusp of losing a second. be some late cheer for the home side. Kanamori. Schreiber into the side netting. And that should just to be about that. Thoroughly professional performance by the team from Hiroshima. Even got some minutes into the legs of Tolgay Arslan again. Not a single shot on target for Melbourne City. Goalkeeper having to work with his feet, but not necessarily with his hands. And that is full time in Melbourne. And a big 3 points in the Champions League Elite for Mikael Skipper's team. 5 wins in a row now against Australian opposition for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Goals from the penalty spot by Marcos Junior after he'd been fouled by Patrick Beach. And then a bullet header from Yotaro Nakajima late on. Melbourne City out of season, out of touch, though at least a little too early to say they are out of contention. But toothless tonight, not a single shot on target in the 90 minutes. And those visiting supporters cheering on Sanfrecce Hiroshima go home the happier of the two sets of fans. Full time at the Melbourne Rectangular Stadium, and that's the way it finishes. Melbourne City 0, Sanfrecce Hiroshima 2.